Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this morning. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. Okay. I wanted to talk about Keyglock. Is selling out in Canada, doing extremely well in Canada. Now, bad publicity is being put out about him. One thing that I've started to notice is, and we know that oftentimes it comes from the record labels. They pay for bad press. Of course, we do know that certain uh, record labels that consider themselves to be opposition, right? This has been happening for a while, especially since Young Dolph was taken out. We see that stop. We see that they immediately, um, um, certain labels and things of that nature and their affiliates, who they have on the internet. They immediately started going in on Young Dolph's artists, hoping to try and spew a narrative and put a narrative out there. Of course, I never bought into the narrative because I already know what the truth is, right? And that is that Keyglock had nothing to do with the assassination of Young Dolph, right? To say that Key Glock had something to do with the assassination of Young Dolph would be omitting, all right, and giving the people who had a consistent pattern of trying to take him out um, a pass, right? We already know that when Young Dolph was assassinated, they wanted to also get Key Glock. Um, for the life of me, I used to wonder why. I would go, dog, all of this is out there. It is obvious because these people are consistently going at Key Glock and throwing shots at Key Glock and things of that nature. I'm like, I used to go, well, I'm trying to figure out, why, people don't see that. But then, sometimes people don't see things, and hey, it don't, before people get started, I don't give a fuck what you think. Okay. I don't care if what you believe. I'm talking about for those that want to come in with, well, I had got a right to believe it. Okay, leave me alone, believe it. All right, but there was a hit on Keyglock. Okay, they wanted to take Keyglock out, and so now we see like these record companies put stuff out in droves. Like they pay people crumbs to viciously attack people, and because a lot of people don't have character, they don't have um morals, they don't have standards, they'll do anything for a crumb, right? And so this is what we see. But the good thing about it is it has it hadn't stopped Keyglock from being on top of his game. He has been very quiet, and I'm glad that he is. He's just been letting the success see people see the success. He's been letting the success do the talking. Right. Keyglock is doing exactly what Young Dolph had wanted him to do. He groomed him to be able to put him, for him to be in this position. I'm sure that Young Dolph, being the artist, Young Dolph talked about all the success that he had obtained, right? And so when you start grooming your artists, you want them to do just as well, because your artists can also make you millionaires, right? And so we know at some point Young Dolph was thinking about retiring and wanted to. If you listen to Mia J, she says he started spending more time with his family. If you listen to him, he was ready to get into other things, right? But he was consistently grooming and making millionaires. Keyglock was his protege. Okay, so he's doing exactly what he was groomed to do, and that is be great and successful. Okay. But we live in a society where people love success but hate on successful people. So, I mean, they'll take a nickel to hate. Okay, they'll take a nickel or a dime to hate because it's just in them to hate anyways, right? It's that jealousy situation. But I see people going more at Keyglock than I see them going at the people that actually did this to him. They'll go at Keyglock for continuing on being great and doing what Young Dolph taught him to do, and then say free straight dropping Cornelius. For the life of me, I don't understand it, or I can't understand why people don't see this, with the naked eye, that it is something unnatural about it. But I mean, it don't take being an investigator to see that. But hey, like, hey, whatever, because when it's all said and done, Keyglock ain't going to jail, and straight drop Cornelius gonna stay in jail, and the rest of them dudes that had a history of trying to do this is going to jail, right? But Keyglock is over in Canada. He's doing his thing. He's doing great, and it makes me extremely proud. He had to cancel any dates. And I'm gonna tell you something. When people start trying to put out negative stuff, or they trying to send negative things into the atmosphere, it always end up backfiring on them, right? Because Keyglock has been doing really, really good, right? He started on November the 18th in Canada, right? And his next date is November the his last date is November, it's tomorrow, actually November 27th. Let me make this bigger. Okay. Low tickets. I mean, he flat foot sold out last night. He sold out last night in Montreal, Canada. He sold out. He had low tickets, and just about all of them he sold out. He'll be in Ottawa, okay, on tomorrow, and that will be his last day. I am extremely proud of Keyglock. When I hear people say, well, Keyglock trying to be like young Dolph, he better. That's who was grooming him. That's who his protege is. That was his mentor. Okay, he better. If I see him trying to be like any other CEO, I'm gonna have a problem with that. As much as I like Master P, I better not see Keyglock trying to mimic that. It's okay to like Master P's qualities, but when we look at Keyglock, we better see a lot of Young Dolph as well as the other artists, because that was their mentor and their boss, right? And so I don't understand. I guess, people are so used to being cutthroat. They want to take all of the teachings and suck all of the information out of a person, and then I guess, cut them in their back. And, yeah, Young Dolph taught me, but I had want to be like Jay Prince. That's the mindset of a lot of people. But, hey, people get mad at Keyglock. Well, he trying to be like Dolph. Well, then we ought to be giving him a standing ovation. That's the right person that he is supposed to be like. Okay. But I was looking at CMG, okay? The people that is allegedly paying for this stuff to be put out. Listen, I'm just telling you what I heard. Okay, that's what's in the grapevine. Okay, they be paying for this bad publicity on this young man. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. And so, I'm looking at CMG, and they had to cancel whatever situation they had going on in they had to cancel in Houston, right? Now I thought, with them having, being so chummy with the princess and all of that, hey, I thought, that they would have sold out. I'm sure they're gonna say it's another reason why they canceled. It was a venue situation, and I wanted it to be superb. Now the ticket sales was low, just like I heard the ticket sales was low in Atlanta. The word is they just didn't want to cancel, okay, because they didn't want to look bad. Now that's just what I heard, okay. Um, and supposedly Yo Gotti was very upset. I'm sure when he see this, he gonna try to make it something that he's not, and he lost a lot of money and all that. Listen, that's just what I heard. Okay, I'm not saying that it's true. That's just that's just what I heard. Okay, because that's the word on the streets, right? And so, meanwhile, Keyglock, even with the people with the bad publicity being put out about him, he still got the spirit of Dolph around him. He's still doing well. When your steps have been ordered by God, no devil in hell could ever stop that. I don't understand why these people don't recognize that. You can't stop the hand and the plan of God, right? So I wanted to, let's see. Yeah. So I'm sure they'll start putting out some pictures and stuff because they're a fan of the show. Shout out to them. They're a fan of the show, right? And so, and I wouldn't have, let me say, I wouldn't even have no problems with CMG if they had not been so grimy and did what they did. They know it was not right. Because I was once a fan of Gotti's. He's a fellow Memphian. How could I not have been? I'm a fan of anybody, whether I know their music or not. I'm a fan of anybody from out of the Memphis area that got it out the mud. But once you start doing some shit, that's it. Especially when you go as far as taking out a fellow Memphian that got it out the mud and bringing all of this negative attention on Memphis. Okay? All of the negativity, and then you take a man from his family that walked on the same soil as you and got it out the mud, came from nothing, making Memphis proud. It was enough for everybody. And these niggas do that? That's unforgivable. I ain't no forgiving person anyways. Okay? But that's definitely unforgivable because they did the very ultimate. Then they want to pay and put a negative connotation on his artist because they fear his rise. And can I tell y'all a little secret? If God says it is final, a devil in hell can't stop him because it was already predestined. So all of that witchcraft, all of that evilness that they put into the atmosphere, they could keep it and keep the bad karma. They already got enough to pay for. They could keep that. That's something they ain't even got to go through because it's going to return back to them. But when you used to dealing in evil and you believe the hype, this is what happens. And the hype is with everybody gathered around you, making you think you God. You don't even know. You can't even decipher that I'm mere man. Okay? And I can be whooped raggedy by God. So, as much as I love the New Orleans bounce music, I have to say, secretly, I am one of the biggest fans of the New Orleans bounce music. Child, I was a majorette in school. So even when I walk, I kind of got a march and walk. Okay. Because I love that. It's just a habit from being a majorette. I love that New Orleans bounce music, but because I'm a loyal person, I have to, when they ask me who are you, some of your favorite artists, I say anybody from Memphis. And then if they from around the Tennessee area, I have to go ahead, even if they from Mississippi and Arkansas, I always consider that to be Memphis. Okay, Nashville, any of that. But I go anybody from around my area, around the Memphis area. I have to go ahead and show loyalty, but secretly, I'm a real big fan of that New Orleans bounce stuff. But I have to stick with and be loyal to the artist in Memphis, and I support them first. I think it's a darn shame that it got this bad where artists who is supposed to be about making money, making your city look good, and giving back to the people that helped to put you on. But instead, you put this negative connotation on Memphis, and a spirit has been released because you got a lot of evil eyes looking in on Memphis that ain't necessarily praying for Memphis. And they want to try to not only take Young Dolph out, they want to try to take Keyglock out too. They want to try to take him out. They want to try to destroy his career, and they ain't been able to do it yet. And I serve notice to a lot of these artists that's being paid to try and do this. Keyglock is covered by prayer. Don't have a heart attack and die. Because God says when I get him back, because God will tie that tongue up, he'll twist it up. Some of you already ugly. You'll be looking like something up out of a straight up horror movie because he'll twist that mouth all the way around to the back and have that tongue hanging out, looking like a lizard or something. Because God says when I get him back, you're going to see me get them back. You better be real careful about who you put your mouth on. Support your habits and stuff some other kind of way. Okay. As a matter of fact, pray for some deliverance. Say no to drugs. Okay. And stop letting the devil use you and speak the truth. Because a lot of you niggas know the truth. Okay. Do what's right. Because Keyglock is covered. His tours are selling out. Well, you just a Keyglock fan. You motherfucking right, bitch. Don't you ever question who I decide to support. Don't nobody control me. Haven't you niggas learned that by now? I support him 100%. And he gonna always do well. And a lot of these niggas that's hating on him old enough to be his damn daddy ought to be trying to get your life right. Keyglock ain't had nothing to do with that. All them boys knew each other. I know people right now who I grew up with, who I was once friends with, that I can't stand. We done got the fighting and everything. Right? That's how it is. And if you old niggas, regardless of who you are, male or female, get on here and say that you had friends that you ain't fell out with before. You was once friends with somebody that you don't deal with before. You's a lie and the truth ain't in you. You're a lie telling a lie from the pits of hell. Okay? Memphis is a small city. All them Dolph dealt with Trula Mafia. But something happened. Straight Drop was sitting on his blog mad about Dolph and throwing out shots years ago at Dolph and Keyglock. They had fallen out. So when people start, these pictures start resurfacing, you can look at them and tell they was a lot younger then. That's when them folks was cool. If you listen to Fabo, he'll tell you. He said, when I went to jail, people we was cool with, when I got out, they didn't want me to be cool with them no more because them folks had fallen out. But it's all about a narrative. The boy telling you the truth. If you listen to him. Now, some of the other stuff, Fabo, I like you. I want you to do well with yourself now. But you don't let nobody use you. You got a talent to go and do the same thing they doing, whether you got support or not. Put your energy into that. Don't let folks put no battery into your back. Because he's a Memphis, and I want to see the brother do well. I ain't going to drag him. Okay? Because, see, I know kids, Fabo, age are easily influenced, especially when they're emotional about something. He got to feel a certain way. He see his friends, his ex-friends doing well, but he needs to take that energy and put it into doing well for himself. Congratulate his brothers and elevate on. Blaze your own trails. Okay? That's how you have to do it. And then God says your gifts will make room for you. I ain't going to talk bad about the brother. I'm going to tell him, don't be on his page threatening them. Don't let nobody put no battery in his back. And even if he's still friends with the other side, don't let them use him, because they will use him, where he'll end right back in jail or in the grave. See, that's what a real adult do right there. See, I'm a real one. Okay? But Keyglock been selling out, right? God, you have to keep your mouth closed like he been doing. And let your work speak for you. Let your success speak for you. He been selling out while other folks been canceling tours, dates, because they ain't selling. And then going on and losing money and still ain't selling so that they won't look bad. God says, when I get them back, you're going to see me get them back. Keep your mouth closed. Fall to your knees. Look to the hills. Because that's where all your help going to come from. And watch and see on God handle it. Shout out to Keyglock for doing the darn thing. He doing it the Dolph's way. Okay? He doing it the Dolph's way. He trying to act like young Dolph. You damn right. That was his mentor. That's how he better act. Because I'm having a problem if he trying to act like Gotti or anybody else that didn't mentor him. That's the right one to act like. And it seems like to me, really, that's the problem. Because all the people that claim that they cared about Doc really hate him. That's why they can't stand to see Keyglock mimicking him. Okay? If you mad, you better get glad. Because Keyglock ain't where God gonna take him. He gonna take him further than that. Okay? But anyways, you guys, I just wanted to talk about that. I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you can support the channel. But let me tell y'all something. Don't come into my blog with no mess. I don't mean no harm. You can express your opinion. When you get in, when you start, I'm getting ready to save y'all some trouble. When you start typing, when you go with Miss T, I feel a certain way. Hey, you could feel that way. You know, I just feel like it's something weird. Okay. When people don't know the truth, and especially when they've been listening to a bunch of cat bloggers, hey, I guess I understand. But when you come into my chat with a narrative, well, you know, Keyglock did this on this day, and I'm getting ready to go. I'm gonna save your fingers. Save your fingers when you start coming in there with coming in here with all these narratives, because I've heard them and I know where they come from. I'm a save your little arthritis fingers, because these be old niggas doing this stuff. The trouble, because I'm gonna delete it. So you might as well not even write it. Now, when you say, well, I feel differently, I feel this kind of way, okay, that's fine. You got to write the feel that way. But when you come here with different narratives and use these long ass posts with all of this bullshit that you done got from cap channels, you just using your arthritis fingers for nothing, because I'm going to delete it. Don't say I didn't tell you. I'm a real honest person. I'm telling you now, I'm going to do it, okay? And I rocks with Keyglock, and you can't change it, because I rocks with Young Dolph, and I rocks with the rest of them, okay? But anyways, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.